Assalamu alaikum. Today's topic is visual cycle. So let's start. We know that our retina it has photoreceptors, rods and cones. The rods they have a photopigment rhodopsin. The rhodopsin is composed of proteins scotopsin and 11 cis retinal. When the light falls on rhodopsin, this rhodopsin it breaks down into scotopsin and all-trans retinal, and it occurs in a number of steps. Okay, and intermediate products are formed. So first of all, beta-rhodopsin is formed, which is a partially split combination of scotopsin and all-trans retinal, and it is unstable, so it breaks down in time of nanoseconds into lumiridopsin. Lumiridopsin breaks down into meta-rhodopsin 1, and the meta-rhodopsin break 1 it breaks down into meta-rhodopsin 2. The meta-rhodopsin 2 is activated rhodopsin. Then the meta-rhodopsin 2 it finally breaks down into scotopsin and all-trans retinal. Now they are completely split apart. Then all-trans retinal it can be reconverted. All-trans retinal it can be reconverted to 11 cis retinal to the retinal isomerase. Or there is another pathway through which all-trans retinal, which is a form of vitamin A, it can be converted to 11 cis retinol, which can then be converted into 11 cis retinal. 11 cis retinal then combines with scotopsin to reform rhodopsin. Okay, this pathway is important when there is a deficiency of photopigment in eyes. So vitamin A can be used to form retinal or photopigment. Let's see the role of meta-rhodopsin 2, which is activated rhodopsin. Light falls on rhodopsin, it is activated to meta-rhodopsin 2. Meta-rhodopsin 2 it activates the G protein transducin. When this activated transducin it then acts on the phosphodiesterase and activates it. The activated phosphodiesterase it breaks down cyclic GMP into 5' cyclic GMP. This breakdown of cyclic GMP it has a significance. Okay, the normal membrane potential inside sensory receptor it is minus 70 to minus 30 millivolt, but it is minus 40 millivolt in the case of rod cell. We can see that this is much reduced electron negativity as compared with other cells, sensory receptors. Okay, as compared with other sensory receptors. Let's see what's the reason behind this. The rod cells they have an outer segment and the inner segment. Okay, the inner segment it has a normal sodium potassium ATPase pump which works in other cells, which it transports sodium out of the cells and potassium into the cell. Okay, at the same time the potassium ions they are leaking out of the cell to the non-gated potassium channels. So there should be electronegativity inside the cell, increased electronegativity as in the case of the other cell, but this is not the case with the rod cells, because the cell membrane of the outer segment of the rod cell it has cyclic GMP gated sodium channels, okay, through which this sodium it continuously leaks into the cells. So the electronegativity which is created due to this sodium potassium ATPase pump it is neutralized by this sodium which is leaking into the cell. So there is reduced electronegativity inside the rod cells in the unstimulated state. But when the light falls on the rhodopsin and meta-rhodopsin 2 is formed and the breakdown of cyclic GMP occurs, the cyclic GMP when it is no longer available, this sodium it cannot be pumped into the rod cell. So the sodium leaving the cell will be greater than the sodium which is leaking back into the cell. So the electronegativity it can no longer be neutralized. So there will be increased electronegativity in the stimulated state. This is the state of hyperpolarization, and this is an excitatory response which is transmitted to our visual cortex as a nerve impulse through the usual pathway, that is through the rod cells to the ganglion cells, and then to the ganglion cells through the optic nerve to the visual cortex, and that's how visual signals they are transmitted to our visual cortex of our brain. That's all. Thank you so much.